guys, welcome back to another Cook With Me. Today we are gonna make bread, except this one is actually a bagel and it requires no yeast. I've been watching a lot of Instagram stories and I've been seeing a lot of people try to recreate this bagel recipe using only a few ingredients. Really, if you have the right kind of flour, there's only 2 ingredients, but because I don't have that, we're gonna call it a 5-ingredient bagel, which is still really good. Instead of using yeast, I'm gonna be using baking powder. So I first saw this recipe from Skinny Taste, which is a really popular blog, and I saw her making these bagels in an air fryer, which I thought was super cool, but I mean, how many of us actually have an air fryer? I do, but do you guys? So I'm gonna do a version in the oven. So first, I'm gonna add some flour into my mixing bowl. I'm gonna do 1 3/4 cups of flour, and I'll link to you guys to the blog that I found this recipe from. I looked and compared at a lot of different blogs to see like which one came out really well and what was the ease of the recipe and stuff. So even though it's really easy, there's some complicated ways of doing things. 2, 3. So now I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons of our baking powder. So this will help your bread or your bagel to rise without the yeast, and this requires no boiling, no proofing time. I wonder if the inside tastes as chewy and delicious. We'll see. I have some other bagels that I got from Western Bagel, which is a local bagel shop here, and we're gonna compare the two. So we're gonna add 3 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2. Baking powder is also one of those things that have been flying off the shelves, and baking soda. So this is my last bit. I wasn't able to get more in the last grocery delivery, but I think this should be able to last me a while. And then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. If you have table salt, cut it in half and just use half a teaspoon. Kosher salt granules are a lot larger and I feel like they're less salty, so you don't need as much. All right, just mix that in. And then just whisk all the dry ingredients together. Okay, simple enough so far. And finally, 1 cup of Greek yogurt. Now I have this Fage Total 2%. I've seen a lot of notes that you can use full fat. Don't use regular yogurt because it makes your dough really sticky. So they highly recommend Greek yogurt. So since I need a cup, good thing I have a larger one because I need a tablespoon from here because this only contains 7 ounces, which is like a little shy of 1 cup. I'm just gonna add the whole thing in here and then grab my 1 tablespoon or 1 ounce. I'm just gonna call it 1 tablespoon. Everything in there. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I love that you can make something like this from just Greek yogurt. There's protein and then like a few simple pantry staples. Hopefully it works. I've also been really inspired to make bread. I have like a jar of yeast in my fridge that I always keep in there anyways. I haven't actually attempted it yet. I've seen so many people make sourdough and it looks kind of intimidating. So if you guys have tried making bread, let me know and let me know if you have any tips. Like making this type of bread is pretty much all I have time for these days. And what they said is just let the dough come together. It will be scraggly like this. And then we'll let the dough come together. It does look like a bread dough. Kind of wonder if I can just do it with my hands. We're gonna do it by hand and then I'm gonna flip it out onto the marble surface and then finish kneading it. I gotta take my ring off. Okay, let's mix it until the dough comes together. Whoa, this is crazy. It does feel like a dough that certain parts of it, like the bottom, needs to be a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna take this out since I'm gonna need it anyways, and then I'm gonna add a little bit, I'm gonna add a little bit more Greek yogurt here because it did not catch any of the liquid or the wet ingredient. I'm just gonna add another tablespoon. I'll let it come together. So this is the fun part about trying new recipes is that I kind of follow along, but I make my own guesses. I don't know. That's my experimenting part. So this is starting to stick together, and then we're gonna knead it until it becomes a nice cohesive dough. So I feel like the dough is really, really dense. On Skinny Taste's blog, she says to knead it and turn it about 15 times. And I wonder what that does. But I can see how this could become a bagel because it's so thick. I've never made bagels before, like the real way with yeast and proofing it and everything. So I really don't have anything to gauge by other than what I've seen on like Food Insider or other YouTube channels. But I have high hopes for this. Like, look, it looks pretty good. They said to let the dough kind of bounce back a little bit to know when it's ready. Okay. So a few more turns. Another thing that I've been seeing all over the internet, of course, the Dalgona coffee, which I made a video on that the other day. That's the theme of the week, recreating stuff I see on the internet. But another thing that I really want to make is cinnamon rolls. I've been hesitant to make it just because, like, who's gonna eat all that cinnamon rolls? I cannot eat all of that. Bagels are okay, right? Because they're good for breakfast. They're like sustenance, not like a cake bomb. This is looking really, really good. Hopefully I didn't over knead it, but I think this looks good. Okay, so now we shape the dough. I have my, what do you call this? My bench scraper. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. This should make 8 bagels into even size pieces, or as even as the eye can see. Whoa, look at the dough. Look at the close-up. It looks nice and airy. I don't know. That's nuts. So now I'm gonna roll it out like just like this. I don't think I'm gonna make it too big. We'll measure it out to be 6 inches, just so we have a pretty substantial looking bagel. Okay, that looks good. And then just twist it like that. Look, it looks like a little mini donut. How cute. I hope it bakes up to be a little bit bigger than this. We'll see. I'm gonna set this aside and then finish the rest. If anything, these will be mini bagelettes. Have you ever had those? Actually, that's like the perfect size for what I give Ericy because she loves bagels, everything bagels as well. And I haven't really been buying them just because I always forget to when making like grocery store orders because it's not really an essential. We end up just giving her like eggs, or we make waffles now for breakfast. The Kodiak cakes are really good. Once I get to the edge, I kind of like to roll it together like this so it looks more attached. This one looks the best so far. Okay, last one. And if you guys are vegan or non-dairy, I read that you can also use Kite Hill yogurt to make this, and have worked for some people as well. I love how like during this time there's been so many new food trends, like the Dalgona coffee, a ton of pasta recipes, banana bread. So many people are making banana bread. Personally, I mean, I like banana bread, but I don't love banana bread, so I haven't made any. But I do have other hacks or ways to use up bananas. If you guys want to see that, like healthier banana snacks or something. Oh, actually, I already made a video on that, like way back when, and it came out the day that I gave birth to Ericy, so we'll link it in the description box below. Yeah, people are making cookies again, cinnamon rolls. I keep thinking about cinnamon rolls, but I am resisting the urge. What's something that you guys want to try making? Okay, so we are done forming the bagel. So now I'm just gonna brush it with some butter on top so it gets that nice golden brown color. You can do egg whites as well, but I like the flavor of butter. It also acts as the glue because you know I'm gonna put some everything bagel seasoning on top. Okay, so I was actually gonna do it straight on here, but then Nate said, don't you wanna do it on the actual baking sheet? Because this would lose its shape or I would mess up somehow. So I will do what he says. I'm not throwing you under the bus. He just likes to tell me what to do. Parchment paper is going on. I hate that there's always this side, but if I do it this way, there's so much like extra going up this way, and I don't like to waste, so they should just make it longer. The little things, guys, the little things. Okay, I'm gonna space it, actually. I'm gonna toggle so that if they do rise, they don't bump up against each other. And honestly, if they rise just to be slightly larger than this, like not too big, I wouldn't mind at all because I actually love mini bagels. So now we're gonna brush it. Although, okay, even though I listened to Nate and we did it this way, I almost wanna say that I disagree with his suggestion to do this because later, after this, I'm gonna have everything bagel seasoning all over the baking sheet. It'll be wasted. That looks so pretty. Beautiful, shiny, golden hue. And then now we're just gonna shake some of this right on top. Okay, as we're doing this, I kind of have a different approach that I would do. I would have the seasoning in the bowl, and after I brush it with the butter, I would dip it so that we don't get excess like this, because having it like this will actually burn in the oven. So it's a discovery that I made while experimenting. Yeah, so definitely guys, when you do this, if you want to put any toppings, sesame seeds, everything bagel seasoning, what other good ones? Poppy seeds. I'm not a huge fan of poppy seeds. Just brush it and then dip it and then dunk it into the toppings. I feel like that would be the better way. Anyways, so the oven has been preheating to 375 degrees and we are gonna pop them in the oven and bake them for about 18 to 20 minutes until they hopefully rise up and become a puffy, beautiful, golden brown bagel.
This one flour?
You wanna whisk up some flour?
Yeah.
I got these plastic bowls exclusively for her because she loves baking. You're making sprinkles?
Wait. Yes! Bagel! No! See? Bagel!
Bagels, it's very hot, don't touch. Okay, a few things. These popped out, so I need to do a better job at rolling them. This one looks okay. This one probably looks the best. It's very hot, please don't touch it, okay?
Are we?
That was a good save. Did you touch it?
No.
Let it cool, and then you can try one, okay?
Try!
Do you love bagel and cheese?
She made.
You made it?
Cheese?
So here's a real bagel that we got from the shop. And then let's break open the biggest one, which is this one. It's still fairly warm. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? The inside here looks very fluffy.
Pepper pink I have. Pepper pink cream I have. Sissy want some?
It's very hot.
Sissy berry.
The flavor is good. I wouldn't say...
Sissy berry.
The flavor is really good. I'm gonna let it cool all the way before I really make a judgment call. But look how fluffy it is inside. I'm just blown away by how fluffy it is. Once it cools, I wonder if it'll be different, but the outside is not as chewy or thick as a real bagel. I mean, this is definitely a shortcut or a hack, so I don't expect it to be the same, but it's actually really good. Like, look, I don't know how they came up with this idea to mix yogurt with flour to make bagels, but it's incredible and it's pretty cool. I would totally make this again if I'm in a bind. And if you guys have no yeast and you want to make some bread for yourself, try this out. I hope you guys like this recipe. I hope you love bagels and give this a try. Let me know what other recipes you've been seeing on the internet and you think it would be fun to experiment with, because I've been having a lot of fun doing that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye, baby.
What are you making? What's in there?
Miss me?
What's in there? You put sugar?
Yeah. No, 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 no.